Here we'll do some practice on systems of equations. This question says that a boat traveling with the water current can make a 20-mile trip in an hour. The boat takes 2 hours when traveling against the current. How fast is the boat and how fast is the current? Let's try to pick some letters to go with the concepts mentioned in this question. We are asked about the boat speed and also asked about the current speed. Because we have 2 subjects to this question, we'll need 2 letters. We don't know either one of them, so we'll need to write 2 equations. We'll begin by writing the boat speed as letter B. And we'll write the current speed as letter C. Now that we know what letters we are dealing with, let's have a look at the question. We're first told that the boat, when it travels with the water current, makes a 20-mile trip in an hour. When you're traveling with a water current, that means you add the water current speed to the standard boat speed. Therefore, we'll say that first sentence tells us that we're dealing with B plus C, where the boat is going with the current. We will add the speeds together. Now that speed they've told us in this question is a 20-mile trip in an hour. So our speed will be 20 miles in 1 hour. To get the speed, we'll take the distance over the time. That distance is 20 miles and the time is 1 hour. If we take 20 over 1, we'll get 20. So our first equation will be B plus C equals 20. The next sentence in the question tells us that the boat takes 2 hours when traveling against the current. When we are traveling against the current, we take the boat speed minus the current speed. For this equation, we'll take B minus C is equal to distance over time. In this case, our distance is still 20 miles because we're still traveling the same distance. However, the time when we are traveling against the current is 2 hours rather than 1 hour. So we'll take 20 over 2, and this will give us 10, meaning B minus C is equal to 10. Now we've written 2 equations, and we have 2 letters, which means if we solve the system, we'll have both B and C. Let's go to another page and try to solve. Now that we have both of our equations, notice that we have a positive C and a negative C. When you have exactly the same thing with opposite signs, you can do what's called the elimination method. In the elimination method, we will combine the 2 equations together. When we take B plus B, we'll get 2B. When we take positive C minus C, we'll cancel them both out and leave 0 behind. Finally, after the equal sign, we'll take 20 plus 10, and we'll get 30. Now our equation is just 2B equals 30. If we divide both sides by 2, we'll get B automatically. B will be 30 divided by 2, which is 15. That's our first letter. Now to get C, we can back substitute that B that we just found into one of our 2 equations. Doesn't make much difference which one. We'll use the first one here arbitrarily. We'll say B plus C is equal to 20, but now we will let B equal 15. We now have 15 plus C is equal to 20. If we subtract 15 from both sides, we now know that C is equal to 5. This tells us that the boat speed will be 15 and the current speed will be 5. These are both in miles per hour. And so now the problem is solved. In writing 2 equations with 2 unknowns, And using the elimination method, because they had the same value and opposite signs, we found both the boat and current speed.